Hello and welcome to the first episode of Xenon 2 Breakdown. This is going to be a small series where I'm going to break down some of the visual effects that I've been doing on Xenon 2. I don't know how many I'm gonna make, I don't know how many I want to make, but I'm gonna try with this first. And the first thing I want to talk about is this thing right here, the ammo counter. But I'm only going to talk about one specific part of it because it's a lot to break down for one episode. All we're going to talk about is tracking its position. People who know me know I've talked about a lot about something called the Purpledot, which is right here. P dot. This thing. This beautiful purple dot. So how it's done, but first thing you do, you want to change the scattergun model from whatever the scattergun model is to a what's called transparent purple dot and nothing else. The whole web is transparent except the purple dot. So what Icewind did is he made a program that takes the VTF file, the actual just scattergun VTF, and convert it into a PNG. I also forgot to add that you have to open the VMT file, add the path for the scattergun, plus some of these numbers. I don't remember which ones, but it has to be transparent, otherwise it's not transparent. Forgot to add that. Back to the video. Normally you have just the raw normal VTF of these weapons that you have in TF2. You convert them into a PNG. You get the PNG, you see the normal scattergun, then you open it with Paint, Photoshop, whatever you want to use, Paint.net maybe. And you draw wherever you want the purple dot and delete everything else. Maybe not that order, but you know what I mean. After that, you use the PNG to VTF from C scattergun PNG to C scattergun VTF, and then it replaces the old one. And then you have the purple dot. Then you put it into your TF2 folder, like probably in custom somewhere. Custom P dot materials blah 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 etc etc. That's where you put it, and then you got it in there. Perfect. Now you can start recording. Recording in itself is a whole its own thing. I'm not gonna go into details on how you do that. That's a lot. Now when you have that recorded, you want to extract the position of this purple dot on this screen. Like, what position is this? Well, you could do, tracking manually, not manually, half manually with the After Effects tracking. That was my original idea, and Icewind said, fuck that takes too long, we're finding a better way. And then he made Purpledot. Luckily, this program is a drag and drop, it's very simple. Again, I don't know the source code, you'll have to go look at the description if I haven't put it down there, but you drag and drop this, and then it runs throughout the whole video file and tracks its position. To be exact, it doesn't track really its position because you see, there's two purple dots because you can't always be perfect when you're drawing the textures. So it takes the middle point of the biggest cluster or something like that. I don't quite remember the actual way of it working, but it's something like that. I didn't program it, I just a frag movie maker. And when you got that, then we can have the fun parts in what's called After Effects. That's where the fun begins. You end up with a text file, and this text file is very needed for the frag movie itself. The format doesn't have to be this way. I just made it this way because it's the only way I know how to work with it. That's not true. It's the easiest way I know how to work with it in After Effects. There's probably easier methods, but I don't know them. Then we have ammo right here. Dun, dun, dun. But all we care about right now is the position. And you might see I have used obviously expressions to do this, but the expression right here says nothing. There's no way all of it works just from that. That's because I have something called a master. Master control. Okay, thank you. I call it master control. Yes, which is where I put all the code. I then went on a 10-minute rant on why I did this. You know what? I'm gonna save that for another video. I will explain it in much greater detail there. For now, just know I'm using comments. Anyways, so instead I just made a test null. Just so you can see the tracking of it. It's just a null. And here you have the code, the full-on code. There's a lot to it. It's fairly simple if you're a real programmer and not a fake programmer like me, we will ignore most of this. This is just a path, really. It's just telling me, hey, where are the text files located? Oh, it's located right. Well, it's actually located right here. Now, what is more interesting is the rest of it. So I'm gonna be using my master control a lot, which is this thing, which has the master control for everything here. Luckily, you can also see it's using something with the weapons. This is to tell the position offset depending on weapon, because the purple dot, give me a second. The purple dot here is kind of a random place on the weapon, because it can be really bothersome to figure out exactly where to put the purple dot where it fits. So it's semi-random, but sometimes you don't want, as you can see, the exact position of the numbers aren't exactly in the middle of the purple dot. So we put on a little offset. That does mean the anchor point is at the purple dot, and that does make it so that the arrow doesn't track 100% perfectly when it comes to how to explain this, scaling. It looks a bit janky, but it's fine enough that people won't really care. In a perfect world, you have the purple dot exactly in the middle. Fuck it. It's fine as it is. I just have to put on a little offset, and that is this right here. First, it finds up the weapon, which is this one. What frame of the demo file is the weapon? What weapon do you use at each frame? So it's pistol, scattergun, blah 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 blah. Cool. What do I need that for? No, it's because the purple dot is different for each weapon. I think I only use scattergun. No, I use pistol indent here. I can see that right there. That's a pistol. That's a scattergun. And the offset has to be a bit different for whatever weapon I'm using. First, we need to figure out what frame are we at. This F here stands for frame, and that is these frames right here. So we obviously want to start with 0. The first line here is like, hey, at this layer starting point, we're gonna start at 0. That means it's because so I can move this thing around, so 0 will now be here at the starting point instead of here. That's very important, because then I can move these things around as much as I want. And then we have plus and offset. This offset is put in my adjustment layer right here. Again, it's just kind of like a mini master. Right here, the what's called offset is 13 frames. Sadly, I have to do this manually. I don't think there's any way of doing this perfectly, because recording TF2 is janky. Then we take these offset and put it into X and Y. The position themselves are right here somewhere. I think it's the position. This one is the sticky launcher or something like that, and it's like -20, 0. Cool. For scattergun is something different. We take it and we put it into X and Y. Then down here, this is the actual position of your purple dot. Read the file of my path. My path is just the purple dot, and we yes, we just add the offsets, and then there we go. We got the purple dot's position, and then it tracks somewhat fine. I forgot to mention that these two numbers here are important too, because when the purple dot is not on screen, then it has to be a position that is off screen, that you can't see it, because when you're switching weapons, sometimes there's no weapon in front of you, no ammo to track, nothing. There's been a bit of a problem when it comes to TF2 recording, that's called bobbing. You might know of it. The weapon bobbing in TF2 is random, and Adj and I have tried to minimize the randomness of bobbing. We haven't found a way that actually works, so we just have to live with slightly inconsistent TF2 weapon bobbing. And that is because when you record the purple dot, you also have to record afterwards the weapon itself. That means it's 2 passes. One recording for the purple dot only, and one record for the weapon only. And when you try to overlay them, sometimes they don't match up 100% perfectly. So yeah, that's the purple dot. That's it. That's how you use it. That's how it's done. I probably forgot a thing or two. I did ignore some parts of it, but you know, it's not a big deal. All right.